2 years after the accident that took my wife and left my little girl, Serena, blind at just 7, I was still stuck in the dumps. I'm Andrew, by the way, and I was sitting in the big empty living room of my mansion, feeling the weight of it all. This place used to be filled with laughter, but now it just reminded me of what we'd lost. I was a successful businessman, but I felt totally helpless when it came to Serena's pain and my own. She'd shut herself off from the world, and that included me. Trying to figure out how to help her, I finally took a buddy's advice and looked for a caregiver. That's how Grace and her daughter, Lily, came into the picture. Grace was a former music teacher, a single mom, and she had this quiet strength about her that seemed to shine even when things were dark. Lily, this little ball of energy, was 5 years old. When they pulled up to the mansion with all the ivy on it, Lily's eyes went wide. "Mom, is this where we're gonna live?" "It's like a castle," she shouted. Grace just smiled, trying to hide her nerves, I reckon. I met them at the top of the stone steps, my voice tired but polite. I gotta admit, seeing Grace's calm face and Lily's bright, curious eyes gave me a little flicker of hope, something I hadn't felt in a long time. But then the doubt crept back in. What if this was just another try that was gonna fail? I couldn't stand the thought of Serena retreating even further into herself. "Thank you for coming," I said. "I hope you and your daughter can bring some light back into Serena's life." Grace just replied softly, "We'll do our best," and glanced up at the dark windows. Behind those curtains, Serena was sitting all alone, not knowing that maybe, just maybe, things were about to change. As their car stopped near the massive iron gates, my family's house stood looming, covered by ivy, tall and imposing. The gates slowly opened, showing a gravel driveway leading to the structure. The car stopped in front of the large iron gates of the mansion, its ivy-covered walls standing tall and imposing. The gates slowly opened, revealing a gravel driveway that led up to the grand structure. Lily pressed her face against the car window, her eyes wide with amazement. "Mom, it looks like a castle from a fairy tale. Is this where we're going to live?" she exclaimed, her voice filled with excitement. Grace gave her daughter a gentle smile. "Yes, sweetheart, this will be our new home." As she stepped out of the car, Grace took a deep breath. Determination mixed with trepidation coursed through her. Andrew stood waiting at the top of the stone steps, his face reserved, but his eyes carrying the weight of exhaustion and sadness. He extended his hand politely. "Thank you for coming. I hope you and your daughter can help Serena find some light in her life again." Grace returned his handshake with a soft smile, sensing the pain hidden behind his composed demeanor. "We'll do our best." She glanced up at the darkened windows above, where Serena remained hidden away in the house. As Grace walked into the mansion, she was taken aback by how grand it was, but it also felt kinda cold, you know? High ceilings, long hallways, and soft light coming through the windows. It was impressive, but also kinda depressing. I showed Grace to the main sitting room, where the housekeeper, a lady with a pretty stern look, was waiting. "Lily, why don't you go with the housekeeper? She'll show you around," Grace said to her daughter, real gentle. Lily grabbed the housekeeper's hand and skipped off, but turned back to give her mom a quick smile. "I'll be back soon, Mom," she chirped. I watched Lily go, feeling a little lighter. She's a bright kid. Hopefully her cheerfulness can rub off on Serena, I said, kinda quiet. Grace just nodded. "Let's hope so." We went up to the second floor and stopped at a closed door. "She spends most of her time in here," I explained. You could probably hear the worry in my voice. "Serena doesn't like strangers, but I'm hoping you can help her open up little by little." Grace took a deep breath and knocked softly on the door. No answer. I sighed and pushed the door open a crack. The room was dark, curtains pulled tight, and there was only a little light from a lamp beside the bed. Serena was sitting on the bed with her back to us, like she was trying to block out the world. "Serena." I called softly, but she didn't say anything. I looked at Grace, apologizing with my eyes. "I'll leave you to it." And I left Grace alone in that quiet room. Grace walked closer, not getting too close, and sat down on a chair near the bed. Seeing Serena curled up on the bed, her small body shaken a little, really got to Grace. She could see the walls Serena had built around herself, walls made of pain and fear. For a second, Grace felt the weight of what she was trying to do. But then she remembered why she was there. If anyone could help this little girl, it was her. She didn't say anything right away, just letting her calm presence fill the room. "Serena, my name is Grace," she said softly. "I'm here to help you, or just to sit here, if that's what you'd rather." Serena didn't say anything, but Grace saw her shoulders shaking a bit. After a minute, Grace pulled a little music box out of her bag. She wound it up and a nice, soft melody filled the room. Serena tilted her head a little, listening to the music. Grace didn't say anything else, just letting the music do the talking. In that quiet room, the first little bits of connection were starting to form. The next morning, Lily was up early, ready to go. She ran to Serena's door and knocked gently, calling out in her happy voice, "Big sister Serena, do you want to come play with me today? I have something special to show you." From inside the room, Serena said quietly, sounding pretty sad, "I don't want to. I can't see anything." "That's okay, big sister," Lily said real quick. "I'll show you how to feel things without seeing." And she just gently took Serena's hand and led her out of the room. Serena was a little hesitant, but she couldn't help but feel drawn in by Lily's excitement. When they got to the garden, Lily started showing Serena the world through touch. "Big sister, this is a leaf," Lily said, putting a soft leaf in Serena's hand. "Can you feel the little veins? They're like secret little roads." Serena actually smiled a little, the first time in a long time, and you could see a spark of curiosity in her. After that, Lily went to see Serena every morning, taking her outside. She'd bring flowers or fruits or rocks with cool shapes. Lily would tell funny stories, and Serena started Logan more and more each day. Slowly, Serena started feeling comfortable around Lily, like the little girl's energy was melting the darkness inside her. One afternoon, they were sitting on the grass, and Lily turned to Serena, her eyes all big and serious. "Big sister Serena, I want to tell you something," she said, her voice getting soft. "What is it, Lily?" Serena asked, tilting her head. "When I was little, my dad left me and my mom," Lily started, sounding kind of sad. "I was really upset and angry at him, but my mom told me that sometimes the people who leave us still love us and watch over us from far away. My dad's not here, but my mom always makes me feel happy." Serena just sat there, listening real close. Lily took Serena's hand and kept going. "I think your mom is like that too. She's not here anymore, but I believe she's watching over you from up above and wants you to be happy. So you gotta try to smile, okay?" Serena's mouth opened a little, like she wanted to say something, but couldn't. She squeezed Lily's hand a little tighter. For the first time, she wasn't trying to pull away. She was just listening, really listening, to the words of comfort from this bright, fearless little girl. Lily's words, even though she was just a kid, really touched Serena. She looked down, and tears started rolling down her cheeks. "Thank you, Lily," Serena whispered, her voice trembling. "Grace and I were watching all this from a distance." Grace smiled softly and turned to me. "Lily's not just bringing laughter. She's helping Serena feel the connection she's been missing for so long." I just nodded, feeling hopeful for the first time in ages. One sunny afternoon, Grace was encouraging Serena to go outside. "It's such a beautiful day, Serena," Grace said softly, putting her hand on her shoulder. "Why don't we try going out? To the garden with Lily? Some fresh air might do you good." Serena just shook her head a little. "I don't think it'll help." But before Grace could say anything else, Lily burst into the room, her smile lighting everything up. "Big sister Serena, you can't say no to me. I got something amazing to show you," Lily said, tugging on Serena's hand, all excited. Serena hesitated, but finally let Lily lead her outside. The garden was something else that day. Flowers were blooming bright under the sun, and the trees were swaying easy in the breeze. Lily was real careful guiding Serena down the stone path, showing her things to feel and check out. "Big sister Serena, this is a really pretty flower, but I don't know what it's called," Lily said, putting Serena's hand on a soft flower. Serena touched the petals, thinking for a second. Then, quiet but clear, she said, "This is a Tygon flower." Lily froze, her eyes wide. She turned to her mom. Mom, did you hear that? Big sister Serena just said it's a Taiwan flower. How'd she know that? Lily asked, sounding all confused. Grace knelt down next to Serena, her hand shaken, as she put it on the girl's shoulder. Serena, can you see? She asked, her voice full of emotion. Serena closed her eyes for a second, then opened them again, blinking a few times. I think I can, she whispered, her voice trembling, and tears welled up in her eyes. Right then, Lily let out a happy scream and hugged her sister tight. Big sister Serena, you can really see. This is a miracle, she cried. Grace couldn't help but cry herself, pulling both girls into a hug, her heart full of gratitude. Hearing all the noise, I ran out of the house. I stopped dead when I saw Serena's smile, shining like the sun. Serena, what did you just say? Can you really see? I asked, my voice shaken. Serena turned toward me, tears rolling down her cheeks. I can see, Dad. Not just feel, I can really see the light and the flower. I dropped to my knees, pulling my daughter into my arms. Thank God, thank you for this miracle, I said, my voice breaking. Lily was holding Serena's hand tight, bouncing up and down, excited. Big sister Serena did it. I knew you would. Under the warm sun in the garden, we all hugged, our hearts overflowing with joy as the miracle took away all the shadows of the past. Since that day in the garden, the whole vibe of the mansion changed. Serena wasn't hiding in her room anymore. She was spending her days outside with Lily. Every morning, you could hear the two sisters' Logan, which made Grace and me smile. Serena was embracing the changes in her life. Her sight wasn't all the way back, but what she could see was enough to let her feel the light and colors around her. And Lily was always right there next to her, always pushing her to see the world. Big sister Serena, you gotta promise to check out every corner of the garden with me. I want to show you everything, Lily said, holding onto her sister's hand tight. And me? Well, I was a different guy too. I used to be all closed off, but I started hanging out with the girls in the garden or just talking with Grace. One evening, we were all having a barbecue under some string lights, and I stood up and raised my glass. I want to say a few words. I started looking at each of them before my eyes landed on Grace. Grace, you and Lily coming into our lives has changed everything, totally. You brought light and love back into this house. Grace smiled, looking at me real soft. Lily clapped her hands and shouted, Mom's the best. And now I got big sister Serena, too. It's perfect. Serena laughed and squeezed Lily's hand. That's right. And from now on, I'll always be here for you. We kept the barbecue going, Logan and talking, just enjoying being together. The mansion, which used to be cold and lonely, was now full of life. A few days after the miracle in the garden, I thought I'd do something special for my new family. I said we should take a trip to the beach, get some fresh air, and see something different. Grace was surprised, but you could tell she was excited. The beach? That sounds amazing, she said, smiling. The trip was a blast. Serena and Lily spent the whole day building sandcastles, Logan and carrying on. I watched them from a ways off, feeling a sense of, well, just feeling whole, something I hadn't felt since I lost my wife. While Grace was playing with the girls, I pulled Serena and Lily aside to make a plan. We gotta do something special to propose to Grace, I whispered. Serena grinned. Mom and Lily will be so happy. Lily raised her hand, excited. Can we do something with seashells, Dad? I chuckled at her enthusiasm. So the three of us started planning everything out. We picked out the prettiest seashells and made a heart shape on the sand near the waves. Serena and Lily helped spell out, "Will you marry me?" using little stones. That evening, the sun was set in all red and fiery, making everything glow, and I led Grace to the spot we'd set up. Serena and Lily had put lanterns all around the heart made of seashells, making it look like something out of a fairy tale. I got down on one knee, holding a little velvet box. "Grace," I started, my voice all choked up, "you've brought light and love not just to Serena, but to me too. I can't imagine life without you. Will you marry me?" Grace just stood there, tears in her eyes. Before she could even say anything, Lily and Serena shouted, real loud, "Say yes, Mom. Say yes." Grace laughed, looking at me, and then looking back at the girls. She nodded, her voice all trembly. Yes, I will. I slipped the ring on her finger, and Serena and Lily just piled on, hugging Grace tight. Under that warm sunset, the beach was filled with Logan and happy cries, and it was the start of a real loving family. After the proposal, Grace and I decided to have a small wedding, just the four of us, in the garden behind the mansion. Under the soft sunlight and the twinkle of string lights, Grace walked down an aisle covered in flower petals, holding hands with Serena and Lily, her two little bridesmaids, who were just smiling from ear to ear. I was standing there waiting under a floral arch, all decorated nice. When Grace got to me, I gave her a big smile, my eyes full of love and thanks. The ceremony was simple, nothing fancy, just honest promises. I promised to love and protect you for the rest of my life, I said, looking straight at Grace, not wavering. Grace replied, her voice full of emotion, and I promised to stand by you and our children, building a family full of love together. Serena and Lily were close by, just glowing with happiness. When the ceremony was over, Lily shouted, "Now we're really a family." Serena smiled soft and nodded. Yes, we're a family. After the wedding, the mansion was just buzzing with Logan and Joy. Serena and Lily kept having their adventures in the garden, which was now a place full of memories. Grace and I would spend afternoons together, just talking about what the future held for our family. One evening, we were all together, and I said kinda quiet, we don't need a big house or fancy things. With love and hope, we already got everything. Under the soft light, with Serena and Lily's Logan filling the air, our family just kept on writing our story. A story of love, healing, and family.